So, you may or may not have noticed I've been quite quiet lately, and that's not from a lack of trying. It is purely on the basis that I haven't really had any railway to show you, because I've moved house recently and I have now got a loft, and I thought, brilliant, I can put Henley-on-Thames up here and expand on it and make it more easily workable and just better. However, I encountered a small issue when I moved into this house with the small fact that the loft hatch is just too small for the old boards to fit up here. So instead of cutting down Henley, I opted to go something a little bit more drastic, and that was to completely scrap Henley and start afresh. And it means I can now finally have a big roundy layout. Which means I can run the trains that I've accumulated over time a little bit faster, and I can just sort of set them going and not have to worry about it and constantly on edge for them crashing off the edge of a board or slamming into a buffer stop. So what exactly is this new layout then? So it's approximately 5 metres by, I think it's about 3 metres, and the boards themselves are about 1 metre wide in all places. I've got a fiddle yard big enough for 6 trains. This will ultimately be out of sight. I'll actually get around to building a back scene, as I haven't actually had one since this unholy monstrosity that I made almost about 15 years ago at my parents' house. Let's go around and I'll show you the different ideas that I've got for different areas. So this first bit was actually one of the harder bits to build into the baseboards, because it's easy just to lay flat baseboards, but putting in a little valley, that took a little bit more thinking. So here, taking inspiration from Collingwood viaduct, will be a timber frame viaduct. Brunel was pretty well famous for making these. However, they were relatively short-lived, as they weren't particularly strong and were limited to small branch lines. But as trains got heavier and more frequent, they had to upgrade them to structures that we're more accustomed to today, brick ones and stone ones and metal ones. So moving on round now, we get to this area, which will eventually become a goods yard. This goods yard will be roughly taken off of the idea from Hoo Junction goods yard, which was actually on the southern region. However, adopting it for Great Western use and big enough for like a 2800 with a decent rake of open wagons and mixed goods and all sorts. You can finally get all the wagons that have hoarded over time out and get a good look at them. Moving on round past the extent of the goods yard, we come round to this junction. It's going to be a flyover inspired by Coglow Junction, with the lines going up and over, and this area is a little bit far off from completion for that, because I need to get some risers and I need to cut into the boards to lower and raise the track. Okay, then moving round from that flyover, we come to a station. The station itself isn't actually based on anywhere in particular. We're taking Great Western themes, but not actually on any station, because I couldn't find any that I liked, and for once I just kind of want to go a little bit crazy and do what I want, and not be dictated by what a history book says, which, although I have said in the past, is what I like, but I just want to let my imagination flow wild. And then from the station, we then head on out into what will become a tunnel, which will hide the other junction off to the fiddle yard. The fiddle yard is running right behind the back scene, behind the station, but will be out of sight. And then coming back out, it comes out through a tunnel portal, which will be inspired by that at Box Tunnel down near Bath. Yeah, coming out of Box Tunnel straight onto College Wood Viaduct, which is geographically so wrong. So as you can see at the moment, I've got all the boards in place, and I've made a temporary viaduct. I've started laying the track. I'm focusing mostly on the outer loop at the time being, purely because I don't have enough track. There is a big Code 75 shortage at the moment, and it's causing prices to skyrocket for the track, and I don't fancy paying almost double the price. So I'm taking my time with it, but I should have enough for the outer loop at least at the moment, and I should hopefully have something running very soon. Our little challenges I've set myself for this layout is, the first one, most notable, is I am building all of my points myself. However, they do take a little bit longer to make. I can't just take them out of a packet and wrangle them straight on the layout, which might be a good thing, seeing as I can't actually buy any track at the moment. I've built enough points now for the outer loop, and I have a couple of other points for the inner loop. I will eventually do a complete video explaining why I chose to scratch build my own points, and also how to do them. Other things, point control, I'm not using normal point motors. I'm opting for servos powered by an Arduino, which again, it's going to take a while to learn and get round to. However, I hope that will be a little bit cheaper than the other option. It should be a bit more interesting at least. I'm not going to show every aspect of what I'm doing, because there's loads of videos on how to lay track, how to wire up a layout, how to do this, how to do scenics, how to do that. I'm going to try and make my content a little bit more varied, perhaps stuff that you don't see all that often on YouTube. Yeah, thank you for watching. Even if this is basically only half a video, it means a lot. And I really hope you've stuck with me for this long. If you did, celebrate by clicking that subscribe button, and maybe even like or comment. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, any of those things, that'd be swell.